Hello, dear. You're welcome to Design Slider Tech. So you've got Windows 11 operating system on very limited processing speed, and you'd like to make it a little bit faster. No worries. I've got a bunch of tips that should help speed things up on your PC. We're going to disable startup apps. These are the little programs that automatically launch when you boot your system, and honestly, you don't need most of them right away. Go ahead and click Windows Start, then Settings, then go into Apps and scroll down to Startup. Here you'll see a list of all the apps that are launching at startup. You can sort them by name or by startup impact. The ones with a high impact are the ones that slow your boot time the most. Just go through and toggle off anything you don't really need launching every time. Or there's another way you can do it as well. If you right-click on your taskbar, then click on Task Manager, then from within Task Manager, you want to go into Startup. Then you'll see all your different startup apps right here. And if you want to stop one, you would just click on it, and you would click Disable from the list right here. Next, we're going to play with some of the visuals that Windows 11 loves to use. You know, all the pretty transparent effects and animations? Yeah, we don't really need those. Still in Settings, head to Personalization, then Colors, and find Transparency Effects. Go ahead and turn that off. You'll notice, like, your Start menu and stuff won't have that glassy look anymore. It'll be solid. But if I flip this back on and open the Start menu, you can see that there's a slight little transparency within there. Disabling transparency effects from within Windows 11 should help you to increase your performance, especially if you're on a low-capacity PC. Now, this might not do much for you if you're on a faster system, but if you're on a really low-spec system, then I highly recommend doing this. It'll help you out a lot. Now, let's get into some deeper stuff in Advanced System Settings. Click Start again, then type to search for Advanced System Settings. You should see something like View Advanced System Settings. Open that up. In the Performance section, click Settings. Now this is where all the eye candy options in your machine. You could just hit Adjust for Best Performance, and it'll turn everything off. But honestly, that makes Windows look like it came from year 2001. So I recommend just unchecking a few of the flashy things, but leave some stuff on so it doesn't look awful. It's all about trying to find a balance between the good appearance of your PC and its speed performance. Okay, now we're going to the gaming section. Let's bounce back to Settings again. Unless you're actually playing games, which I'm guessing you're not if you're on a low-capacity system, just go ahead and disable Xbox Game Bar and back to gaming, and also turn off Game Mode. You don't need these game features if you're not playing games on your system. This saves performance for your PC. All right, this one's a bit more advanced, and that's going to be disabling services. Click Start, type Services, and open it up. Now, this is a big list of services running in the background. This is going to be all dependent on what you use your system for. So the services you disable might not be the same as the services I disable, but I'll give you a few safe examples to disable. Connected user experience and telemetry. It's just Microsoft tracking stuff. You don't need it on any system for that matter. So we're going to scroll down until we find it. Connected user experience and telemetry. We're going to open that up and then select automatic to change it to disabled. And then from disabled, you can stop the service right there. You can go ahead and hit apply and OK, and it should disable the service. Downloaded Maps Manager. If you're not using offline maps, and who is using it on PC, you can disable Downloaded Map Manager. Change automatic to disable. Stop the service, apply and OK. Fax service. Now, obviously, you don't need fax services unless you're still sending or receiving faxes from the year 1995. So if you're not sending faxes, the service probably isn't affecting you anyway, and it is better you disable it. The next one I could recommend is geolocation. This is another one that you really don't need unless you're making use of location-based stuff. So you're going to want to find it on the list here. And here it is right here, geolocation service. And it's currently running. So if we open that up, we can go ahead and switch it from manual to disabled. We can stop it. And then from that point, we can go ahead and hit apply, OK, to save our settings. And then the next one that I would recommend changing is System Main, formerly Superfetch. The reason I recommend disabling System Main is because with Windows 11, honestly, you should be running an SSD. And if you're running an SSD, this service is doing nothing for you, but only wasting resources. So we go to automatic, change to disabled, stop the service, apply and OK. And you can see that the system main has been disabled. It's essential to understand that there isn't a universal rule for managing all services on a Windows PC, as some services can negatively impact your experience. However, services like telemetry can generally be disabled without causing any issues. When it comes to SSDs, the system main service usually does not run because it disables itself on SSD drives. If you are using Windows 11 without an SSD, you are likely to experience slow performance. I strongly recommend upgrading to an SSD, as it is very important for improving your system's performance. So the next thing we're going to look at right now is background apps. Let's go back to settings, and then we're going to go back into apps, and then into installed apps. And then from installed apps, you can see that we have a bunch of different apps listed. So what we can do here is we can choose an app that we are not using most of the time, and we can make changes. Then pick an app. I'm just going to use Calculator as an example. We click the three little dots, and we go into advanced options. From the advanced options, you can choose whether the app runs in the background or not when it is not being used. If you select Never, the app will not run in the background when you are not actively using it. You can also review other apps that you don't use frequently and apply the same settings. By doing this, you can still use the apps, but they won't run continuously in the background. This can be useful if you want to keep certain applications installed without having them consume resources when not in use. The next one we're going to jump into is the power plan. Go to Windows Start, search for Control Panel, open it, then go to Hardware and Sound, and go into Power Options. You can see that right now my system is set to balanced. So I have two different choices, either balanced or power saving. Now what I want to do is go ahead and show additional options. And as you can see, I have high performance here. If you don't have high performance, you can go ahead and click on Create Power Plan here, and you can create a high performance plan. But since I already have it, I'm going to go ahead and select high performance. Also, click Change Plan Settings to Advanced Power Settings and go to Processor Power Management. Open the Processor Power Management settings and check the minimum and maximum processor state. Ensure both are set to 100%. The next thing that we're going to look at is removing unused applications from your computer. To begin, click the Start button. Open the Control Panel. From there, navigate to Uninstall a Program. This will display a list of all the programs installed on your system. I recommend regularly reviewing these programs to ensure you don't have anything unnecessary. For example, I have CD Burner XP installed, but since this computer doesn't have a CD-ROM burner, there's no point keeping stuff I don't use. To uninstall it, simply click on the program, select Uninstall, confirm by clicking Yes, and follow the prompts to complete the uninstallation. Once you've removed that program, take a look through the list again to see if there are any other applications you no longer need. So the next is restartable apps. Go back to Settings, to Accounts, and to Sign-in options. Scroll down to where it says, Automatically save my restartable apps and restart them when I sign back in, and turn that off. Unchecking that will stop Windows from trying to reopen apps while you're starting up your system. Now to notifications. Still in Settings, go to System and to Notifications. So what you can do is you can either go down and unselect the specific applications that you don't want to give notifications, or you can just turn notifications off altogether. Also scroll down to Additional Settings. And from there, you'll notice that there are a bunch of settings still turned on here. Even though I've unchecked notifications up top, it's still going to give me these notifications. They're mostly Microsoft pop-ups and welcome messages that you don't need. So go ahead and uncheck right here, and it should disable notifications completely. A lot of people run bloated third-party antivirus programs, and they absolutely drag down the performance of your system. My personal recommendation is to uninstall third-party antivirus software and rely on Windows Security. Windows Security comes pre-installed on your computer, provides adequate protection, and is free of charge. Here's the final tip. It's important to clarify that you shouldn't just shut down your PC at this time. Instead, select the restart option. This will force a clean reboot and help clear out temporary files from memory and background services. Believe it or not, this simple action can make a significant difference.